Hello, this is Micah from Capture King Gaming here with part 4 of 5 in the What Remains of Edith Finch walkthrough.
Sam spent his life shooting. Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Well, he definitely met it. At least he enjoyed his life while he was here. This house is ridiculous. I mean, I know this is normal.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Insulation I understand, but other compartments are crazy.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
I really don't want to play as a baby that's gonna die. It's a trophy to knock all these off.
Gregory, it's time to...
That's why I'm trying to take all the
Hold on, sweetie.
letters down.
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like.
You notice that whale is looking too?
It reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw. It sure made him happy.
To think that's what goes through a baby's brain, it would be amazing.
I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
That's what I'm wondering. Is this like what they say a normal baby's imagination is?
There's
Or
so much
their
I don't
family,
understand.
Once again, going to what their family might have.
Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
And the storytelling of writing that in divorce, having that in divorce papers, since the baby obviously doesn't have a journal or pictures they took yet. That's a really good storytelling device.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Oh, there's that creepy totem pole that their grandfather was making.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Am I supposed to crash the tent? Oh, here we go. I know. Oh, the words are down here.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Feels like a You Live Katamari game right now.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
That's definitely one of those deaths in the family where it's, a complete accident. I don't think anything in their mind had to do with their death. So there is that misfortune coming into play. Is that a climbing wall? It's awesome.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh, that was that tombstone we saw earlier. Sanjay, I forget the last name.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back and to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Oh wow, that's cool. A small classroom, they had planters outside.
But it didn't last.
See another cross, like you said her mother is religious.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Actually, I think there's one more people before I do this. I could probably get it afterwards, but I just want to make sure. Nothing over here. I'm surprised this walkway is still standing. It's so unsound, it seems structurally unsound.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
Now that is a 420 room, if I ever saw one. And I believe that was the last peephole and then telescope that I got there one time. I wonder how this will go, because her brother, as far as you know, didn't die. He went missing, so.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Wow, an artist having a flip book being their sort of journal or diary. That's good. Once again, this gameplay matching the story is pretty much perfect.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
See, if he made that he foretold his own disappearance, maybe he ran away.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
It's a constant theme in his artwork. It looks like that kind of doorway. The door he has in his room.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
The disappearance is worse than someone just dying because it's the unknown quality. Unknown factor.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Does he live in a boat? Or did he live in a boat? This house is surprising every time.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Grab a fish. Oh,
He
get
kept
rid of
working
it.
at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh wow. Controlling both segments right now. Well, that's different.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Wow. This is really good.
And things that have not names.
From both a gameplay and a story perspective.
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
It's getting more elaborate now.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Exactly what a drone should be. Wow.
Like a whole new Lewis.
As long as he's making the quota.
So I let him go on.
They don't care.
I even encouraged him.
He's branching more into his
It
world.
seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Oh, I have to open
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
fish gates by chopping the fish.
Then he made musicians. songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
I like that the game camera pulls back
He no longer spoke at the cannery,
the more that his fantasy world takes over the
but
real
his
world.
chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won.
There's a Mario reference.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Ah, nice. It's a bit shaky.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
I feel like you can't really fail the fish chopping, but yet
We started drifting away from our reality.
there's something slightly, I don't know, satisfying about it.
Minneapolis.
Which in itself is
Until one day he
speaks what they're
forgot to
talking
go home
about.
from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
I get to choose. Okay.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her
Oops.
silver harp.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Oh, there it is.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
That disconnect is it. Oh, that transition. Ah, that's wow. That was shocking.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Am I supposed to inhabit him and chop his head, his hand or head off?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
There's the Calico.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
No, no.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
That is heartbreaking. Okay, that's it for part 4 or 5 for the walkthrough of what remains of Edith Finch. Capture King Gaming saying thanks for watching. Please have some class. Comment, like, and share, subscribe. I think, side note, Gregory and Lewis had 2 of the most heartbreaking stories of this family. And it was a bit rough to play and watch. And until next time, please take care of yourselves.